Sometimes, people don't really disappear, they just fade quietly, until no one notices they're still there. Have you ever felt that? That feeling of invisibility isn't about being alone. It's about being surrounded by people who look right through you, as if you're made of glass. For many, this feeling began in childhood. It was a time when silence felt safer than speaking up. They learned early on that being quiet made life smoother. No attention meant no expectations, and no expectations meant no disappointment. But over time, that protective quietness turned into loneliness, and soon, loneliness became a habit, a default setting. People who feel unseen often carry entire libraries of stories that no one has ever asked to hear. They move through rooms with a soft, almost apologetic presence. They offer polite smiles and quiet words, careful not to leave footprints behind. Inside, they're not asking for the world. They're not craving perfection, just a little sincerity, a moment of genuine connection. Yet, it feels like the harder they try to be seen, the more invisible they become, as if the effort itself erases them even further. Invisibility becomes a second skin. It's safe, it's familiar, but it is unbearably heavy. They don't shout for attention. They just wish someone would notice the silence. They give more than they receive, hoping that maybe, just maybe, kindness will be the currency that makes them visible. But the world is loud, and gentle souls often get lost in the noise. Still, somewhere deep inside, a soft hope remains that one day, someone will truly see them. They don't need saving, only recognition. A quiet, simple, see you. Because invisibility is an emptiness. It's a story waiting to be noticed. Every glance that passes without truly seeing adds another layer, another wall between them and the world. Yet even behind those walls, they still whisper, I'm here. And maybe, just maybe, the first step to being seen is daring to see yourself again. Because even the unseen have light. It just needs someone patient enough to look. When you grow up unseen, you learn to shrink. You learn to take up less space, to breathe more quietly, to make yourself smaller. Some parents mistake silence for obedience, for being a good kid. And so, invisibility becomes a shield, a survival strategy to get by without asking for too much. You become an expert listener, because you listen more than you speak. You smile instead of disagreeing. To others, you seem calm, easygoing, agreeable. But inside, you're starving for a sliver of recognition. You overthink every word, every action, terrified of being too much. Because attention has always felt dangerous, like a spotlight that only reveals flaws. Sometimes, you vanish into the role of the caretaker. Being useful feels safer than being visible. Your worth becomes measured not by who you are, but by what you do for others. That's how invisibility hides in plain sight beneath a veneer of achievement, relentless kindness, and quiet, tired smiles. Deep down, the fear isn't just about being ignored. It's the fear of being seen and then rejected. Because rejection would confirm the one thing invisibility only suggests, that you were never worth seeing in the first place. So you disappear gently, through politeness, through laughter that never quite reaches your eyes. It's not that you lack personality, it's that no one ever stayed long enough to find it. You start to believe that your silence keeps others comfortable, that your absence is a form of kindness. But the truth is, you're not invisible, you're just unseen by those who never learned how to truly look. For every person who feels unseen, there was a moment of quiet surrender, when they stopped trying to be found. That's when the silence stopped hurting and started feeling like home. But comfort can be a cage, with invisible walls built from past pain. Over time, you forget how to reach out, afraid your touch might break the quiet. Yet, beneath all that stillness, there's a pulse faint, but alive. Then one day, the quiet stops feeling peaceful. It starts feeling like a room with no doors. That's when awareness arrives, small, hesitant, but real. You begin to wonder, maybe I was never invisible, just unseen by people too distracted to look. In that single question, something stirs. A soft rebellion against disappearing. You start noticing small things again, the sound of your own laughter, the way the light rests on your skin. These tiny moments whisper, you exist. And for the first time in a long time, you start to believe it. This journey towards self-visibility isn't about vanity. It's about survival. You begin speaking softly again, not to be heard by others, but just to remember the sound of your own voice. Healing starts quietly, like learning to walk again after years of floating. Each step forward feels both terrifying and beautiful. The world feels sharp again, in focus. You learn that being seen begins from within. How you see yourself is the foundation for how others can see you. Slowly, you replace apology with presence. Instead of saying sorry for taking up space, you simply exist in it. You stop shrinking your joy, stop quieting your laughter. The fear of being too much gradually turns into the courage to be whole. And in that wholeness, you find a new kind of peace, not from being noticed by others, but from no longer hiding from yourself. Visibility, you realize, isn't a gift that others give you. It's a mirror you learn to clean yourself. You stop asking, "Who will see me?" and start asking, "Can I see myself fully?" Because visibility isn't about being loud. It's about being honest. And honesty, no matter how quiet, always catches the light. Maybe that's what being seen truly means, not standing out, but standing true. Once you begin to see yourself, something magical happens. You start noticing others, too, not as strangers, but as mirrors. You realize that everyone carries their own version of invisibility, each person hidden behind a different mask. This understanding softens you. Empathy replaces judgment. Connection, you learn, isn't about being loud. It's about being present. You stop performing and start sharing your stories, your laughter, your quiet truths. For the first time, you feel seen, not for what you do, but for simply being. There's a quiet power in saying, "This is me," without shrinking or pretending. You realize visibility isn't about perfection. It's about presence, flaws, and all. The fear of being broken turns into gratitude for still being here. You begin to trust connection again, the fragile, imperfect, beautiful kind. Each genuine moment with another person repairs something small inside you. You no longer chase visibility, you live it. The world hasn't changed, but your way of standing in it has. You finally understand that you can be quiet and still be seen. Because visibility isn't noise, it's truth meeting light. You begin to create again, not to prove your worth, but to express your being. Your art, your words, your small gestures, they all whisper, "I'm here," and that's enough. The loneliness that once felt endless now feels like open space, a place to grow. You understand that to be visible is to be alive, flawed, luminous, and real. And maybe that's what being human really is, not perfect visibility, but honest existence. The more you accept your own light, the more gently you begin to see the light in others. You stop seeing people as threats or judges and start seeing them as stories. Empathy becomes your vision, the lens that makes the world feel human again. You listen not just to respond, but to truly hear. In a world obsessed with shouting, you rediscover the profound power of quiet presence. You no longer need to prove your worth, because you live it, you breathe it, you embody it. Your stillness becomes a sanctuary for others. People feel calm just by being near you. The invisible one becomes a quiet light, not blindingly bright, but steady and warm. You realize that being visible isn't about standing in the spotlight. It's about standing in your truth. And truth doesn't demand attention. It simply radiates. You give that light freely, through kindness, through understanding. Each act of truly seeing another person keeps your own light alive. What was once loneliness now feels like belonging, not to people, but to life itself. You become the very thing you always needed, a gentle witness to existence. You no longer fear being unseen, because you finally see yourself, and you know that is enough. Visibility begins and ends within. The world feels softer now, not because it has changed, but because you have. You look around and realize that everyone is just trying to be seen, in their own quiet way. And maybe that's what love really is, seeing and letting yourself be seen. The invisible one was never gone, only waiting to remember that the light was theirs all along. Thank you so much for being here and sharing this time with me. If this resonated with you, I'd be so grateful if you'd like this video and subscribe for more content. Take care of yourselves.